Hi guys, it's Monica again, and I am going to talk about one of my favorite movies called Carrie. It's a American supernatural horror film directed by Brian De Palma in 1976. This movie was based on a screenplay written by Lawrence DeCohen and from Stephen King's 1974 novel. This film was based on Stephen King's first novel by the same name, and the director was really excited by the story and really pushed the studio to direct it. It was the first of more than 100 films and television production based on the works of Stephen King. Carrie was released on November 3rd, 1976 by United Artists. The film had a budget of $1.8 million with a gross income of $33.8 million. It received 2 nominations by the 49th Academy Awards for Best Actress. The actress Carrie was played by Sissy Spacek. The Best Supporting Actress was Margaret White, who was played by Piper Laurie. The movie was famous for the best adaptations of the novel amongst films and television shows based on the character, and one of the best films based on Stephen King's novels. The movie had a great influence on popular culture, which I'll talk about later in my analysis by the end of this vlog. And it had numerous publications in regards to claim that it was one of the best horror films of all time. The film's prom scene had a great influence on popular culture. Again, I'll talk about that at the end of my vlog. And was analyzed to be 8th on Bravo's 100 Scariest Moments of Cinematic History. The story goes, it's about this shy, unpopular, and bullied 16-year-old student named Carrie White who gets her period when she showers with her classmates after the gym. She freaks out and screams that she's bleeding to death, but the popular girls are making fun of her. Honestly, when I saw this, I felt so sorry for her. I can sympathize. The popular and beautiful Christine is the daughter of a well-known lawyer who bullies Carrie often and throws tampons at her. Afterwards, Miss Collins, the gym teacher, had to teach Carrie about menstruation. Carrie was sent home from school, and on her way home, she gets teased by a young boy, and she makes him fall off his bike just by glaring at him. She gets home and gets abused by her super conservative and religious mother, Margaret, who goes on a rant about how menstruation is due to sinful thoughts. Carrie is locked in a prayer closet and forced to pray for forgiveness, but then she returns to her room and looks into the mirror, and it causes it to shatter. And the next scene, Carrie's classmate Sue Snell feels really bad and makes her boyfriend Tommy ask Carrie to the senior prom. So going back to Christine, she is mad that she has to attend detention for bullying Carrie and eventually gets suspended from school and banned from going to the prom. She is so mad that she gets her boyfriend Billy to slaughter pigs and place a bucket of blood above the stage of the gym where they plan to dump it on Carrie. Carrie's mom figures out she's going to prom, but Carrie has researched enough of her telekinesis that she throws her mom across the room without even touching her. Carrie goes to the prom and then finds friends and kisses Tommy, and everything goes pretty well until the pig blood gets dumped on her. And everyone starts laughing at her, even the gym teacher. And that's when Carrie gets really mad and unleashes her telekinesis and shuts the door, strangles the faculty members with a water hose, electrocutes the principal, and crushes the gym teacher. The gym catches on fire, and then Billy and Christine try to run Carrie over with their car when Carrie's trying to run away from the school. But Carrie causes the car to flip and explode and kills them. Carrie goes home and is comforted by her mom, but then it gets kind of weird from here because Carrie's mom tells her that Carrie was conceived through marital rape. And this was a very interesting scene, and it was a little uncomfortable at this point. They both prayed, and then her mom stabs Carrie in the back, and Carrie defends herself by causing the kitchen utensils to fly through the room and crucify her mom. Carrie is upset and loses all control of her powers and causes her house to burn down, which leaves Carrie and her mom dead inside. Sue is the only survivor of the prom massacre and lays flowers on the remains of Carrie's home, and then suddenly Carrie's bloody arm reaches out of the ground and grabs Sue. And it was all a nightmare, but Sue wakes up screaming, and then that's the end of the movie. So to talk a little bit about the movie itself, I mean, there was a lot of themes going on that we really have to talk about. And I really like the movie Carrie because it it had a lot of things that I'm really passionate about. This movie opened up to the youth and that it talks about bullying, revenge, and female issues, honestly, that people really don't talk about, or we talked about it in this day and age, but back then they didn't really talk about it because it was taboo. First, this movie did really talk about how bullying affects people. It affected Carrie. We all been there where we felt overwhelmed with our insecurities and fears of adolescence. We all have a story of when we were bullied and how we wish we got revenge on the person who did that to us. This movie's a cult classic because it shows the daily life of a teenager at an American high school. The themes explore bullying deeply, and the themes are not even new today, but are seen through different lens. The most interesting and meaningful scenes in the movie is when Carrie realizes that she's on her period. So go back to that scene and she doesn't know what it is. Her mother never talked to her about menstruation, and the scene addresses how there is a taboo of just the discussion of menstruation. Every girl gets their periods, but it's not talked about. We all get it. So why can't we talk about it? When Carrie gets her period, she's actually sent home. So if we dig deeper into this, in our misogynist society, there is a high cost of sanitary pads, and we barely question that. I complain all the time about how much tampons and pads cost. I don't know about you guys, but we spend way too much on tampons and pads. And in developing countries, this can prevent girls from attending schools, and because due to low sanitary standards, it's difficult for women to privately manage their period and still maintain a life and still go to school or just do their regular things. The period scene really does symbolize how there is a taboo surrounding the transition from childhood to adolescence. This movie makes us all question on who really is the monster. Is it Carrie who gets revenge after so many years, or do we have to blame society for labeling her as different? I mean, it's not okay for Carrie to kill all those people at prom, but from a psychological standpoint, she was tormented for so long. And she finally lashed out. There was no one to really help her, so in my opinion, I would somewhat blame society, because there should have been someone trying to talk to her and trying to get her through it, and someone to stop the bullying. Bullying is still a huge issue today, and is more prominent especially with new technologies, which is shifting from physical bullying to cyberbullying, where victims can't escape the virtual world. At the end of the movie, we are taught that most of the time there is a reason for every person's actions, and both the bully and the victim have a story to tell. This movie may be a horror film, but there are a lot of societal problems that we still need to address even today.